Lonely Planet, a famous publishing house, created a book where it shows the most amazing toilets you can find around the world. Here's an excerpt from the guide Toilets: A Spotter's Guide of the 20 most extraordinary toilets you can discover traveling across different countries. Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, spent 375,000 New Zealand dollars on architect Brett Thurston's design for the public lavatories on the city's windswept waterfront. It is hoped that the two tentacles, armored in orange steel, will attract tourists to Wellington, though it's a long way to go. Squatting on the edge of a cliff 4,600 meters up the flanks of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, the Barafu Camp Kazi takes the concept of a long drop toilet to an elevated level. Pole, slowly, slowly, is the standard mantra when climbing Africa's highest peak, but not here. This ever-so alfresco ablution station in the middle of the Icelandic outback, near Krafla Geothermal Power Station, is an enigma. No one seems to know who installed it or why, but that doesn't worry happy hikers who, after stumbling across it, invariably take photos of themselves perched on the seat. Although this structure, designed by Pritzker Prize-winning architect Ieo Ming Pei, looks capable of blasting off into space and attaining warp speed within seconds, it actually has a slightly more prosaic purpose in life, as a public convenience in the park outside the Museum of Islamic Art in Doha. Made from 10,000 toilets, sinks, and urinals, this fantastic flushing fountain graces Xiwan Park in Foshan, China, the world's ceramic capital. The installation, which is 100 meters, 330 feet long, and 5 meters, 16 feet high, is the handiwork of Chinese artist Xu Yang, who used factory seconds and pre-loved pans to create his masterpiece. Tanzania's Oldupai Gorge is part of the Rift Valley, where the human species spent its formative years. Our ancient forebears went about their business here in the eastern Serengeti over 1.9 million years ago. Continuing in that tradition, this toilet features a seat directly overhanging the edge of the ravine. Locals in Matakana waited 7 years and spent a pretty penny, 400,000 New Zealand dollars, to come face to face with their pouting public toilets, which provoked plaudits and protestation. Matakana lad Stefan de Haan's design is highly symbolic, from the facade to the ship-shaped cubicles, a nod to the local boat-building industry. The peaks rise in North Cascades National Park in Whatcom County, Washington, just 19 kilometers, 11.8 miles, shy of the Canadian. The peaks rise in North Cascades National Park in Whatcom County, Washington, just 19 kilometers, 11.8 miles, shy of the Canadian border. This paradisiacal island in the Caribbean Sea off Placencia, Belize, boasts its own flushing throne, from which the king or queen of the castaways can survey their desert island domain. It's a long way to the shops when you run out of paper, though. Yes, of course, bears do, especially when the facilities are this swanky. Make like a grizzly and sit in the woods on this uber-green composting machine in Taylor Arm Provincial Park, a raw wilderness area on the north side of Sprout Lake in British Columbia, Canada. Chott El Djerid, a large salt lake in southern Tunisia, was used as the setting for Luke Skywalker's boyhood home in the original Star Wars film. The Lars subterranean homestead may have been destroyed, but the Galactic Empire failed to extinguish the new hope represented by these roadside comfort toilets. Limited privacy is the trade-off for sensational views from the hot seats of these composting campsite toilets on the 112-kilometer, 70-mile-long Tonto Trail through Grand Canyon National Park, Arizona. Instead of going rim to rim, the Tonto Trail traces the Colorado River, traversing the bench separating the inner gorge from the upper canyon. You can forget frills, privacy, and shelter in this open-air latrine in the arid heart of Bolivia's Siloli Desert. But there's never a queue for the toilet. The Siloli, a continuation of the Atacama Desert in neighboring Chile, is famed for wind-sculpted rock formations such as Arbol de Piedra, stone tree. The Baiyang Waterfall Trail in Taiwan's Taroko National Park might not be very long, but it boasts 7 impressive tunnels and numerous curtain-style cascades along its 2 kilometers, 1.2-mile length. Appropriately, the washroom by the trailhead is fed directly by one of the path's waterfalls. These leafy conveniences are found in the vast verdant grounds of Vienna's 17th-century Schönbrunn Castle. This 1441-room Baroque palace, complete with expansive gardens exquisitely manicured and shaped over successive centuries by the green hands of the Habsburgs' royal gardeners, is one of the biggest attractions in the Austrian capital. Sit, stand, or squat. The choice is yours in this well-maintained roadside rest stop in the mountainous Southeast Asian nation of Laos. Whichever way you lean, the valley view from the loo, through a wide-open hole in the wall, is utterly uplifting. No need to run the tap while perching on this picturesque potty next to the cacophonous Huldafossen waterfall near Førde in Norway. The sound of thousands of gallons of water rushing over the 90-meter drop should drown out any unwanted acoustics. Norway boasts 9 of the world's 20 highest waterfalls. Swan, in South Korea, boasts a theme park totally devoted to toilets. The eccentric attraction revolves around a commode-shaped museum, the former home of Sim Jae-duk, aka Mr. Toilet, one-time mayor of Suwon, and the first president of the World Toilet Association, which strives to improve sanitation in developing countries. Austrian-born 19th-century painter Giovanni Segantini lived his last years in a St. Moritz alpine eyrie, now known as Segantini Hut, capturing the Swiss peaks with his palette. The hut, perched at 2,731 meters, 8,960 feet, is currently a lodge where visitors to the iconic outhouse enjoy eye-watering valley views of the Engadine. If Santa has an outhouse, it surely resembles this log bog on the banks of a creek meandering through Chena Hot Springs Resort in Fairbanks, Alaska, though you'll have to be an employee to enjoy it. The resort also boasts an ice museum featuring frozen carvings, including a life-size effigy of jousting knights and a depiction of a non-functioning ice toilet.